Rich mind versus poor mind. What if the reason you're not wealthy yet has nothing to do with money, and everything to do with the way you think? That might sound uncomfortable, but stay with me for a moment. There are people who work hard their entire lives, long hours, constant effort, and still never break through. Not because they lack discipline. Not because they're unlucky. But because deep down, they've accepted a belief that keeps them stuck. A belief that says, this is enough, this is my limit, this isn't for me. And here's the real question. Have you ever stopped to notice how many of your own thoughts are quietly setting boundaries for your life? The truth is, poverty is not just a financial condition, it's a mindset. It's a pattern of thinking that convinces you to settle while life is offering you more. It whispers excuses that sound reasonable, like, money doesn't matter that much, or, at least I have what I need. But let me ask you honestly, is that contentment, or is it fear disguised as comfort? Because the mind that fears growth will always choose safety over opportunity. It avoids risk, resists change, and slowly builds a life that feels predictable, but limited. And the most dangerous part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. A poor mindset doesn't just avoid failure, it avoids possibility. It repeats phrases like, I can't, it's not the right time, that's too risky. And every time those words are repeated, they reinforce the same reality. Because your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. Now think about this. How often have you stopped yourself before even trying? How many opportunities have you dismissed because they felt uncomfortable? That's not coincidence. That's conditioning. And unless it changes, nothing else will. Meanwhile, people who build wealth think differently. Not because they're better, but because they see the world through a different lens. They understand that mistakes are part of growth. That risk is not the enemy, it's the gateway. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they create momentum with what they have. And here's the shift. Instead of asking, what if it goes wrong? They ask, what if it works? That single change in perspective can transform everything. So let me ask you, which question are you asking yourself more often? Look around for a second. How many people do you know who are stuck in the same cycle? Wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, repeat. Day after day, year after year. That's not living, that's surviving. And survival mode keeps people trapped in scarcity. They work out of necessity, not purpose. They earn, but don't grow. They receive money, but don't know how to multiply it. Because wealth isn't built in your bank account first, it's built in your mind. Without that foundation, money comes, and just as quickly it goes. But here's the turning point most people never reach. Realizing that this mindset isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. These beliefs were learned, passed down, repeated over time. But they are not permanent. You can reprogram your thinking. You can shift from scarcity to abundance. And it starts the moment you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start acting as the creator of your future. So let me ask you something powerful. What if the only thing standing between you and a different life is a decision? People who think like they're already successful behave differently before results even show up. They take care of how they present themselves. They protect their energy. They choose their environment carefully. They invest in knowledge, in health, in growth. They don't settle for the minimum because they believe more is possible. And belief is everything. Because when you believe something is possible, your mind starts working in your favor, not against you. So the question becomes, what are you training your mind to believe every single day? A poor mindset says, maybe one day. A wealthy mindset says, I'm building it now. That difference might seem small, but it changes your entire direction. Because your brain responds to repetition. If you constantly say, I can't, your actions will follow that command. But if you begin to say, I will find a way, something shifts. You start looking for solutions. You become resourceful. And over time, that persistence creates results. Thinking like a wealthy person isn't about pretending. It's about conditioning your mind to operate at a higher level. There's no financial growth without personal growth. If you want to handle wealth, you need to become the kind of person who can sustain it. That requires emotional intelligence, discipline, patience, and humility. Because money amplifies who you already are. If you lack control, it exposes it. If you have purpose, it expands it. So the real question is not just, how do I make more? But, who do I need to become to handle more? That's where true transformation begins. And when that transformation happens, everything around you starts to shift. Opportunities appear. Conversations change. Your environment responds differently. It's not luck, it's alignment. When your mindset grows, your reality follows. Because you begin to see possibilities where others see obstacles. You take action where others hesitate. And slowly, consistently, your life starts moving in a new direction. So let me ask you, are you ready to see your life differently? Before wealth comes clarity. Before success comes purpose. Before respect comes self-respect. Everything starts within. Every thought, every decision, every habit is shaping your future right now. And the real wealth, the one no one can take from you, is the mindset you build daily. Because once you change the way you think, you change the way you live. And once you change the way you live, results become inevitable. If you want wealth, it starts in your mind. Let go of limiting beliefs. Stop feeding excuses. Start acting with intention. Make the decision today. Think bigger. Move with purpose. Stay consistent. And if this message made you reflect, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Keep surrounding yourself with ideas that push you forward. And remember, this could be the moment everything begins to change.